Cool. Let me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I believe that you are following, we are actually working on a decoder, an H.264 decoder. But here's the challenge that I've come across as I was writing the code. I realized that it's difficult, like, to test my code. Very, 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 very difficult to test my code, because I would be wanting to test like part of the code, like a small portion of my code. But now, because of the way a computer program runs, the runtime will have to go through all of the methods that are involved until I get to that actual method. And the debugger, whereby I can skip from one line to the next line, as the code grows, it actually becomes a nightmare to use that form of testing your code. So there is another way of testing portions of your code without actually running the whole application, whereby you're going to run all the necessary method to get to that method. You are able to test the portion of your code, like the small part of your code. If it's a method, you are able to test that one part of the code. And this development is called TDD, test driven development. It's whereby you are unitly testing the parts of your code in small units, and that makes the process of writing software much more easier and simpler. Does that make sense? So now what we are going to do, we're going to actually create that test driven application, so that we are able to test all the methods that we'll be writing of our decoder. Does that make sense? So the first thing that we're going to do is to create a new project. I'm going to create a new project whereby I'm going to copy all the code that I've already written, because I don't want to add my my xUnit, which is the platform that we use to actually do the test driven development. I'm actually going to create a new project and just copy the necessary file, and that should not be very difficult. First thing is to create a new file. We're going to create actually a new project. Okay, let's change the directory to the C drive. We are on the C drive. This is our C drive, and the second thing that we're going to do is to create a folder on our C drive that we are going to call H.264 decoder. Let me go there. You're not going to see this on your screen. We're just going to change our directory to the new folder that I am currently creating as I am speaking to you at this moment. I'm going H.264 decoder, right? So then I'll come back and change my directory to H.264 decoder. So that's the folder that I've just created, and then inside this folder is where I'm going to create this new project, which is going to include the test, right? So let's go, and we're going to do this by saying .NET. Let's say what we're going to call this decoder. Let's say the first thing, we're going to add a class library. Yeah, let's add a class library. .NET add class lib, which will contain the decoding code and the output. We're going to call this H.264. Let's just call it decoder. We'll see. Sometimes it may be very difficult to recognize command. Okay, we use the wrong command here. we use a wrong command. Class library, I think it should be let's go here. Let me just remind us, new solution. The first thing that we need to do is to create a solution where this is going to reside. Yeah, you can't just add things into your folder. We're going to need to create a solution, which as solution, we're going to create the solution. We're going to create the new solution and then say H264 decoder. Now we're forgetting the output part where we want this to be outputted. So the solution has been created. If you can come here, open a new folder. We'll go to this folder. We'll go to this folder, H264 decoder, so that we change the files. So this is the folder that we have created. Yes, I do trust this. This is the solution that we have, right? So that's where we're going to add our class library that we're going to call H264 service, right? We're going to add H264 service there, and then add a project inside that service, and then we'll add our test. This is our solution. So let's get our terminal. Here we're going to have .NET new class library, output it to, we're going to call it H264 service, right? So we have created our H264 service class library, and then we're going to name this class to H264 service, H264 service, H264.service, yeah, dot service. Let's go to service, H264 services. This is the namespace, and this is the one of the classes that are going to be inside this. Okay, we're trying to organize our code. So here, this is where we're going to have all the methods, all the services that will be provided by our decoder, right? We're going to see those services. For those who have been following, it's not going to be a strange thing, because we're just going to take all the code that we already have and copy it inside this service, right? So right now we do have this project that is called H264 service project, this is a class library. This is where we're going to put all the methods that are required, like finding or locating the neighboring micro blocks, for example, getting the NLA units out of the byte stream or bit stream. All the necessary service that is provided, that should be provided by our decoder, is going to be found within this class library. Either it's a method inside this service that we already have created. This is our initial class, or we're going to create more classes. We're just going to see as we go on with this project. So now we have this service. So now the next thing to do is to create a test library. That means we need to add the framework that we're going to use to actually unit test our our methods, right? So how do we do that? We are going to use xUnit for our unit testing. xUnit comes with Microsoft.NET Core, .NET.add xUnit. We're going to add xUnit, new xUnit, and add, is it add, should be new, not x, should be new xUnit, and we're going to call this h264 service.test. This would be the test of our decoder. We need to actually do output, right? So now this is where our test would be. This is the project for our test. This is the project that we're going to use to test all whatever would be in this project. This one is a class library that we are going to reference in this test unit, and then we're going to test those methods, right, that we are going to write in this class library, right? So now let's go on to with, so we already have this project. So now the next thing is to reference the class library, is to reference this class library within this class library. And how do we do that? Let's have the command. Let's say .NET .NET add we want to add this within this class library h264 service.test. We want to add within this service.test h264 service.test.c# project reference the other project, this one. So that project is going to be referenced, which is h264 service h264 service.c# project. So what this does is that it's going in this project is going to add a reference to this project in this project. A reference is going to be added in this project, but the reference will be referencing this project. That's what we are expecting here. Let's see. We have added the reference. If you come to this project, you'll find that you do have the reference which is added, right? And now, right,